Okay, so welcome everyone. Today we're here in the community call of GENOA in March 2022. And this community call is a space for us people who are interested in and who are embedded in the Ecovillage movement in Oceania and Asia to come together to connect, exchange, but also to learn from each other. So this year we have adopted a new format for our community call where we will invite eco-villages and communities around Asia and Oceania to come and share their practice in each of the calls. So you'll get to meet a new community in every call. And you can learn a thing or two from the way they design their ecological and social fabrics. And today we'll learn from our first community, the one that is quite well known in the network, Gaia Ashram. And before we get there, I would love to also share with you some news and updates from the Ecovillage network to also get you on board and updated with all of the amazing and exciting things that are happening in our network everywhere. In the meantime, if you just arrive, you can say hi in the chat, and you can also change your name to name/country or community so we can know where you're from. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. Are you seeing the screen? Yeah? Okay. So here's the flow of our call today. After a very quick update of the Ecovillage network, we'll dive right into the story of Gaia Ashram, and then at the end, there will be space for question, exchange, and reflections. First update of GENOA, the Global Ecovillage Network in Oceania and Asia, is that we have done our annual general meeting earlier this month in March. And in this meeting, we have shared with each other about the activities report of 2021 and also the finance report of last year. And we also share a few plan and directions that we are going forward with this year, 2022. And the recording of this call is available for everyone to watch on the YouTube channel of Global Ecovillage Network Oceania and Asia. So you can search it up, or we can also drop the link in the chat and in the follow-up email later. In this call, we also are acknowledging that this year, not just this year, but the years around since the COVID start has been challenging for us all. And it's also affected the work of GENOA a lot as everything moved to online and virtual, and we can no longer do gathering in person, at least in 2020 and 2021. And for this year, we are also seeing a lot of in-person courses and gatherings are coming back in different countries in the region, which is a very exciting movement. And we'll be sharing that with you all throughout the year. And internally in the GENOA team, we also have some changes in human resources. So some people are leaving, some people are coming in, and especially we also are now going away from our major donor, the Gaia Trust, who have been funding activities of the Global Ecovillage Network throughout the years. So all of these challenge, but also exciting changes are invitation for us to also have a look at our GENOA system and structure. And this year we're going to be doing some deep dive into how GENOA can support the network better to grow the Ecovillage movement in Oceania and Asia, and what we need to change in the way we work in order to achieve that. So that's why this year we're going to have this project as a metamorphosis of GENOA. It's called the Metamorph Project. This project is an invitation for us in GENOA office, but also for every network member to reflect, to reimagine how we can collaborate better to together create this new beautiful world that our hearts know it's possible, especially amidst the current planetary crisis that we are in. Um, so that's the direction that we're going to be going in this year, and we will reach out to people in the network, especially the ambassadors and the representatives of eco-villages and eco-communities. And if you are interested to be on board with us on this Metamorph project, then just shout, just say hi, and then we'll be in touch with you and share with you more about this project throughout the year. And I would also like to remind how people can be more engaged and involved in the Ecovillage network. So if you come from a project, an organization, or a community, then you can join the network database on ecovillage.org/project if you haven't already, of course. And while you have your project on ecovillage.org, you can do this really interesting assessment, which is the Ecovillage Impact Assessment, where you have a survey that goes through the different dimensions of regeneration for your project or your community. It goes through social, cultural, which is worldview, economic, ecology, and whole system design dimensions. So you can use this survey as a way to reassess where you are as a community or as a project on the way towards regeneration. And you can always come back to this impact assessment and update it. And another interesting thing is that you can look at the results of other community on this Ecovillage impact assessment, and you can see who is doing well in some of the dimension that you are trying to learn. Then you can start to connect and learn from each other. So that's the Ecovillage Impact Assessment. And we are also always very open to hear about your solutions, your stories of what you are doing, or any updates of your activities, and we would be happy to receive them and upload that onto our website and our newsletter. So later, Luvian can pop in the chat how you can get connected with us to share your stories. And lastly, if you have really nice photos and videos of your communities, you can also add them to our collective photo bank, which will be used for sharing and different publications within the Ecovillage network. So that's for project and community. And of course, not all of us are from any particular project or community. Then you can always engage with us as an individuals. You can become a GEN ambassadors, and we'll be sending you a link to know more about that later. So the ambassadors will also connect communities on the ground with other communities in GEN, and also spread the message of Ecovillage living to your local community and area. You can also choose to volunteer with GENOA if you have some time and you're not, you don't mind working virtually in a virtually team with your computer. Then we also will be sending our volunteer call very soon later in the month. And lastly, we're having our educational program coming up right now. So we are in the process of opening for application for Regeneration, our program, and the program will start at the end of April. So you can see here, Regeneration, it's a whole system education program that empowers individuals and communities to develop impactful projects towards regeneration. It's a 6-month co-learning journey going through 5 areas of regeneration, and it's gonna start at the end of April and go until the beginning of October this year. And just one more thing about Regeneration is that we're gonna hold a free info section tomorrow, actually on Saturday at 2 p.m. Bangkok time, ICT. So in this section, we're gonna share with you the human, the social design of Regeneration, who are the speakers, who are the trainers, the coach, and also what are the highlights and difference that this program has comparing to other Ecovillage design education program or program for regeneration. So if you are looking for an online learning journey, then I would invite you to join this free info section tomorrow. You can register by just going to the link here on the screen, bit.ly/regeninfo, and then we'll see you there. And this is my last update from GENOA. So as you might already know, or if not, then I will share with you that GENOA hosts a healing circle every month on the full moon. And the healing circle, it's organized to nurture inner regeneration, because as you know, it's very important for us all to work on ourselves while we are trying to regenerate the planet. So this healing circle, it's a way for us to hold a virtual community to support that. And the healing circle this next month, April, it's gonna be on the 16th, and it's gonna be with Paul Mooney, who is a dialogue facilitator, and he's gonna hold a sacred and safe space for us to exchange, to discuss what healing means to you. What does it mean for us as an individual, or as a community, as a planet, to heal? And this section, we will be communicating the links and how to register with you later. So if you subscribed onto our newsletter and our social media, you'll see the information about it very soon. And the healing circle is going to be moderated by our dear Amina, who has just led the attunement just now. So that's the updates from us, GENOA. If you have any questions about GENOA, about Gen, what's happening in Gen and GENOA, feel free to pop that in the chat, and I can get to that later in the call. And for now, I would just take a pause for us to let all of those information to sink in, because I bet there was quite a lot of information, and we of course will follow up with you after this. Before we move to the second part, where we actually gonna hear real life story, real experience of people on the ground who are doing amazing things to regenerate the planet, and also you will see how the story of personal connection, connecting to others in your community, and connecting to the earth, to nature. It's an interwoven story that cannot be separated from each other.